Mitchell, and I'm the co-founder of WasteWise, and I'm going to be the moderator for our panel today. We're excited to bring together this group of experts to share their knowledge and leadership on the issue of recycling in North America. I want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. First of all, this is a live conversation using Google Plus Hangout. We're really excited to use this new technology to share waste expertise, and we ask you to please be patient with us. As I said, this conversation is live, but excerpts and a summary will be shared on our site within 24 hours. You can follow the conversation on Twitter using @BeWasteWise or the hashtag WasteWise. If you would like to comment during the conversation, you can use Twitter or you can use the chat window that you'll find at the main page at wastewise.be. I want to introduce our panel. I'm going to briefly introduce them, but you'll find full bios and links to their publications and various other media on our website, and you can connect directly with them through that. First off, we have Dr. Samantha McBride. Samantha is the author of Recycling Reconsidered, and she's also an assistant professor in the School of Public Affairs at Baruch College of the City University of New York. Welcome, Samantha.
Hi.
We also have Ms. Kate Vasquez. She's a senior consultant at Gershman, Brickner, and Bratton. We have Mr. Brian Tippett. Brian is a solid waste professional and director of the Solid Waste Division at Applied Ecological Services.
Good afternoon, Katrina.
Good afternoon. And we have Ms. Anne Germain. She's the president of the Solid Waste Association of North America. Welcome, Anne.
Thank you.
So I want to jump right into our first question, and that is that the focus around recycling in many municipalities in the United States is that of increasing the rate of recycling as their primary way to increase diversion from landfills. Do you think this is the right focus for municipal recycling policy?
Well, I'll jump in there. I think from my perspective, it's the least complex way of getting participation up. So it's an easy measure and an easy comparison tool. So I think that's the reason why it's been the focus for so long. I think people have tried to use other methods, but I don't think anything works as simply a comparative tool than just increasing recycling rates.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I have combed through the literature to try and find empirical results of diminishing per capita waste generation through policies to promote buying in bulk or other types of voluntary measures, and it's very hard to bring about on waste prevention. It's very hard to bring about on a voluntary level. On the other hand, things like taxes and fees, specifically on plastic bags, have been shown to diminish consumption of those materials. So that would be an alternate way to get materials out of the stream going to disposal.
Those are real interesting points, and I certainly agree with those. However, I feel there maybe should be more of an emphasis on the aspect of sustainability, which recycling is a part of it, and focusing on not doing something isn't important, I think, is focusing on doing things. We talk about diversion from the landfill, and I believe even diverting from the recycling stream by reducing waste in the first place, reducing that generation, is a very meritorious effort. It may be harder to measure. We can certainly look at put-out rates and waste generation rates, and I think recycling is a good thing to have some focus on, but more important than that, I even think sustainability principles, using the triple bottom line, such as people, profit, and planet, is kind of a bigger goal.
We're having a little bit of a technical issue with Kate. Kate, do you want to chat your comment? And then I'll just read it for you. Kate's typing. So she says she agrees with the other speakers that there's a great value in
recycling rates.
Recycling rates.
Probably, yeah.
Shortened R, because they're so easy to count. But there is so much value in going up to the top of the stream too. Anyone want to comment on that?
Well, I think, the industry as a whole has done an incredible job over the past 10 years on their lightweighting of packaging. And that's something that most people, aren't even aware of. I think the one area where people kind of see it a little bit is like plastic water bottles, the disposable ones. People can kind of tell when they're empty. They feel pretty flimsy. But with the exception of that, a lot of people don't even notice some of the lightweighting that's occurring in the industry. So I think there's already been a lot of success achieved in that area. But I think there are product stewardship issues, targeted materials that still can be a focus of future efforts.
And should that be a focus at the municipal level, or is that really a national policy or consumer behavior change?
It's interesting. Ideally, this happens on a national level, but I don't know that we have the political will to achieve something like this on a national level. It seems like it evolves in the coasts and kind of works its way closer to the center of the country. Brian, you want to argue with me on that?
That's too broad. Certainly, I'd like to argue with that. The coast certainly can be leaders in a lot that happens in recycling, but don't pick on the center part of the state. There are some really neat examples in Minnesota. Even in Chicago area, they're doing some things that I think are pretty nice to remark. It may be the more populated areas seem to